What is up, my brothers? We have another sponsored request from a gentleman in the Greater Toronto area who wants to, well, share a little bit of an experience, but also ask how to avoid running into problems with the law when it comes to crazy women. So we'll hop into this. I'm not going to read it through and through just because it doesn't flow very well. I have a feeling he might be dyslexic the way that it was written, which is fine, but I get the general idea. So let me scroll down to the main parts that matters. He was engaged to an 11 and he ended up giving her a ring, got it back. An old flame from teenage lust tracks him down. They have some epic reconnection. You guys obviously know what that means, hopefully. Crazy epic mess in your head kind of stuff. 3 weeks later, she's at his place and asked to wear the ring. So again, was engaged to a chick he considered an 11, had a bad breakup, got the ring back. Now he's dealing with I guess an old fling, like a girlfriend from high school sort of thing. Now she asked to wear this ring, another woman's ring, obviously the other woman that he was engaged to, because it was flashy and he was getting it nice. So what ends up happening is she ends up taking the ring from him. Here, I can just kind of go big from here. She ends up taking the ring from him, leaving. I'm not sure what the value of the ring is, but most guys are sold some bill of sale, like, you know, you should spend 3 to 6 months of your salary or of your annual salary on a ring for her. So let's assume it's worth something. It's got some value. I mean, obviously it's got value if you got it back from first set of crazy. She takes the ring. I'm not really sure why you let her leave your house with the ring. So one of the things you're asking here in this request is, my question is, how can men avoid legal railroading if it happened to me? So the first thing is, when somebody shows you who they are, you need to believe them. I don't know who said this. It's an old saying, but if somebody shows you that they're crazy, you need to believe that they're crazy. So if you're with a chick that tracks you down from high school, she's at your place 3 weeks later after you've seen her for a bit, and she wants to see and wear your ex-fiance's ring, and you let her leave your house with the ring, dude, you can't be surprised for what comes your way. This result that you got comes from a bad choice, which begins with your belief system. So I've covered this before in the channel. It's beliefs, choices, results. This is the sequence. You know, the results are the top. It's obviously the tip of the iceberg, but the tip of the iceberg is just what you see. What's underneath that is the choices that you make to get the results, and your choices that you make are governed by a belief system that's within you. So this gentleman here, his belief system said it would be a good idea to give her a ring from an ex and let her leave the house with it. I'm assuming she didn't steal it because you didn't mention that in the request, but she left with it. So you call the police and text calling the police. So she takes the ring, breaks up by text the next day, I believe is what he said, calls the police like it was a plan, and she stole my property, call the cops on me. So here's your first problem. You're very OCD is what you're saying. And I can kind of get that by the way this is written, but you kept calling her phone, just say you're coming to please give you the ring. We both need to walk. I'm not sure if you mean walk or talk. She doesn't answer the phone, no voicemails. He doesn't make any threats, no lines are crossed, but because he made 18 calls on the way, it's deemed unwanted and repeated harassment, which she claims was in fear for her life. Dude, are you surprised? First of all, your first mistake, so to answer your question about how you avoid these mistakes, is one, don't do anything stupid with a woman. You know, if she shows you that she's crazy, and a woman wanting to wear somebody else's ring and then you letting her leave with it, that's kind of on both your end. She's crazy and you're crazy for letting her leave the house with a piece of jewelry that's probably worth something after only seeing her for 3 weeks. That doesn't make any sense from any perspective. So the first thing you need to do is make better choices. If you want better results, make better choices with women. I get that some guys are somewhat struggle with women. Maybe they're somewhere on the spectrum. I don't know. But you need to first begin with making better choices. And making better choices entails updating your beliefs and understanding that when a woman shows you that she's nuts, you believe her right away. There's no, let's make a special exception, or because it's bling bling, or she's, what did you say here? Something to the effect of, you were getting it nice, I think it was. Yeah. So, no. The first thing is make better choices with chick, dude. The second thing is, if you're going to run into a scenario where you need to go and collect personal property, so I'm going to speak broadly here when it comes to collecting personal property from a chick that's taken something from you, assuming that you gave it to her. Okay, it's not that she stole it for you. Let's assume that you gave her, I don't know, something of some value. Maybe it's a few $1,000s worth of value. I don't know what that item is, but let's just generalize it and say she has something of yours that is worth a few $1,000s and you want to go over to her place to collect it. If you've texted her and you call her that day and she doesn't respond to either a call or a text and there's no response whatsoever, you don't call her another 17 times. You don't just drive over to her house and show up unannounced to go and collect something that's yours. She's already told you that she's going to make it hard for you by not responding to your text or your phone call. Your next step is to involve the police and say, this person, this woman that I was involved with, has taken my property. This is what it is. Describe it, obviously. And how do I go about collecting it from her? They're going to tell you what the appropriate steps are. And then you're going to follow through on those steps. And also, I did a video in the last probably 2 or 3 weeks on what to do with protecting yourself for domestic violence and alleged cases of domestic violence. So up on the top right of your screen there, I'll have a pop-out banner. You can check that out. You should watch that video afterwards. But essentially, you need to be the complainant. In any scenario where the police are going to be involved and you need to deal with something like domestic violence, collecting some kind of personal property that she still has that you want to get back, you need to be the complainant. You need to initiate the process, because if you're going to let her do it and let yourself get carried away by calling her 18 times, she's now got a call log on her phone that she can show the police that you went off the rails and called her phone 18 times. And that is definite grounds for harassment. I don't know the same case would be true for you for a guy. I've had crazy women call me multiple times, 2-3 dozen times, to the point where I had to turn off the damn phone so I didn't have to deal with the insanity of her craziness. I doubt men would get the same treatment. I highly doubt it. So you have to understand that men and women live under a different set of law when it comes to legal issues like this. You're automatically going to be deemed the bad guy. You're bigger, you're stronger, you're a male. Women are always a victim of crimes. You know, this is like the generalized notion. So you just have to understand that this is the baseline. So that's another area that I need to address here. So you're harassing her, calling her 18 times. And then after that, you know, because she basically called the police and said that she was in fear for her life, and that's all she has to do. That's all she has to do, regardless of whether or not there's any real threat. All she basically has to do is tell the police, I fear for my life. Now, you're going to get charged. So obviously what you ended up having to deal with is getting charged, labeled guilty every step of the process. You obviously have some difficulty with that. So you're asking me to offer guidance to guys so that they don't ensue this type of humiliation that you had to deal with. And again, your specific question is how men can avoid the legal railroading. Well, I've covered those main parts for you. Okay, again, don't make stupid choices with women. There would have been some red flags that she threw up. Pinned in the top comment, I have a free chapter for you guys on spotting red flags. I'll put a pop-up banner up there as well for that. You can get on my email list and get that free chapter. Get that. Understand what signs and signals she's going to give that are going to indicate that she's a problem chick. Within 3 weeks of dating her, you should have spotted some of these things and known full well not to hand over. It's like giving dynamite to a kid. You know, you're basically asking for problems. So you have to be intelligent about reading women and not allowing yourself to get in a position where problems can happen. So that's the first thing. Second thing is understand you need to be the complainant on stuff like this. You don't let her call the police first. You need to be the first one. Get clarity on what the steps are, whether they need to come with you to the house. They might say, we'll go there and ask her for it and see what happens. And if she says no, document it and then call us, and then maybe we'll send over a squad car and, try to assist you, sort of thing. I don't know what the protocol is, but rather than you harassing her 18 times, even if it's just 5 or 6 times, I could imagine that she might make a mountain out of that molehill. 18 times with a call log showing 18 missed calls, you're kind of digging your own grave. You know what I'm saying? So there's having the emotional intelligence with relationships with women, specifically, to make better choices. So there's that element of it as well. That's really all that it boils down to, is not inviting crazy into your life. Most guys are all too happy to invite crazy into their life because they give them epic intimacy, as a lot of you guys, you know, can read between the lines on that one. But often, you know, crazy in the head, crazy in the bed, these things kind of go hand in hand. So it's not often that you can have a great connection with a chick and not have some craziness that comes along with it. You know, they say something like 1 in 5 women are diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, BPD. Those are the ones that are diagnosed. Maybe there's more out there that aren't. I don't know, but there's women out there that will complicate your life. And if you invite that into your life, you really have nobody to blame but yourself. So I think it starts with within and taking ownership for the choices that you're making with women, and proceeding forward in a more enlightened, self-interested way. Being able to say no. You know, if you have an abundance mindset, let's say you're spinning plates, you've got 2 or 3 women that you're talking to or something like that. As soon as she shows that she's crazy, as soon as she would have said something like, hey, can I wear your ex-fiance's ring? Or she tries to take it and leave, you know, the house, right there and then you should have been on the phone with the cops. Right there and then, right? So it boils down to making better choices. Don't believe women. Believe when they show you that they're crazy, immediately you need to believe them. The minute they show you that they're crazy, you need to believe. Now, if you can't spot crazy, stop dealing with women until you can figure that part out. Okay, red flag chapter down below, pinned in the top you know, card up there. You can check that out as well. Thanks for requesting the video. I hope that helps you. I hope it helps other guys. Be careful, gentlemen. Be careful. Don't do what happened here. You're inviting problems into your life. See you guys in the next video. Peace out.